So what if Google decided to shift the strategy dramatically with the Pixel 6a? Because yes, for those of you complaining that the A-series Pixels were never launched in your region, that might be about to change. The Apple Watch Series 8 is bringing new features, but not the ones we were kind of hoping for. And we might be getting some hardware at WWDC after all, at least we're hoping. I'm Jaime Rivera, and 2 questions. Do you own a tablet? And second, do you use a hardware keyboard with it? I'm curious to hear your answers in the comments. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with Vivo and their foldable. Yes, earlier today, the Vivo X Fold became official, and there's a catch, but there's also a lot to be excited about here, hopefully. Just to get the specs out of the way, it brings an 8.3-inch LTPO2 AMOLED main panel running at 120Hz, and yes, it also uses Samsung's ultra-thin glass. Then the outer display is a 6.53-inch panel, which also runs at a high refresh rate. And when it comes to the hinge, GSM Arena points out that this one takes cues from both Samsung and Oppo, with a wing hinge that stops at both 60 and 120 degrees. Now, under the hood, we get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 12 gigs of RAM, a 4600 mAh battery, and it supports 66-watt wired charging. The cameras include a 50-megapixel main sensor, a 48-megapixel 114-degree ultra-wide, a 12-megapixel 2x zoom lens, and also a 5x periscopic lens, with all of the array bringing some size tuning. Where things get even more interesting is when you look at the price tag, as apparently it'll start at around $1,400, but it'll sadly be exclusive, at least for now, to China. We got people like Ice Universe claiming this product will or should disrupt the market given all the features for the price. So, I mean, let's see if it changes Samsung's Galaxy Fold 4 strategy. And notice, no Z. Let's switch on to Apple and unreleased products we have been waiting for quite some time. I mean, aside from the iOS 16 changes we covered yesterday, Mark Gurman's newsletter also mentions that we could be getting some new Macs. And I mean, finally, some hardware rumors for starters. I mean, he claims that Cupertino could be releasing the redesigned MacBook Air and another Mac in the middle of the year, possibly at WWDC or earlier in the second half of the year. Earlier in the second half, not earlier before WWDC, but apparently there's also a possibility for us to be getting an updated 24-inch iMac and even a refreshed Mac Mini, though more on that soon. At this point, any sort of update would be welcome considering devices like the 13-inch MacBook Pro hold designs that are crazy old, and don't even get me started, but that's actually why we shift to the Mac Mini, is Apple Studio Display firmware references one unaccounted for machine, which is apparently a new Mac Mini that might be running the M2 chip. There's also some speculation going around if we're getting a Mac Pro considering Apple's teaser at the last event, but hey, any hardware would be welcome right now, Apple. And fine, sticking to Cupertino, let's move on to the next Apple Watch. I mean, yesterday we covered how we could be getting some new features, but it looks like the ones we've been waiting for aren't coming. See, Apple has reportedly been working on a new sensor that would be capable of determining if a user has high blood pressure and even non-invasive blood glucose monitoring. The problem is that even if they've been reportedly working on these for years, they might not be ready this year. Sadly, apparently 2024 the earliest. For now, Cupertino is looking on bringing new women's health features to the Apple Watch and the iPhone, and new sleep fitness and meditation tracking features to the iPhone's health application. Apparently, they're still looking to add a body temperature sensor to the watch this year, but it's initially designed to help with fertility planning. We'd have to wait for future Apple Watch models to determine if they have a higher than normal temperature, but we still don't know if it'll, be as accurate in its measurement as we expect. Again, WWDC is looking very meh at the moment, and I don't know, we'll see what ends up happening, at least with the Macs. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's talk about Google and the Pixel 6a, as new developments point to 2 good things, possibly. One seems to be that it's coming pretty soon, and the second is that it seems that it'll finally launch in more markets than before. My Smart Price just spotted 3 different FCC listings that allegedly belong to the Pixel 6a, with at least one of them directly tied to the actual brand name. The 3 devices are very similar in terms of frequency bands they use and specifications, and also the fact that they were listed at the same time. time. So yeah, the only other logical reason why we have more than one variant is because support for other regions might be included, as rarely does Google cater to specific carriers in the US with a different device. If you remember, all the A models have been exclusive to the US and Japan, which is such an irony considering this series is actually targeting a more price-centric demographic, so it would make all the sense in the world for Google to finally want to expand. We're expecting the 6A to launch at Google I/O in May unless it gets pushed, but with the certifications, it looks like Google is pretty much ready to roll it out already. It'll reportedly be powered by Google's Tensor chip, at least 6GB of RAM, and the same cameras we got with the Pixel 5a, along with a design that resembles the Pixel 6 series, though different materials and colors. We've even seen the retail box recently, which is a very Google Leaks thing to do. Anyways, in today's question, let us know if you would want the Pixel 6a in your region and for what price. Because honestly, I really don't understand what's taken Google so long. At first, I thought that was the whole reason for this lineup, and yet it's been so weird. But anyways, that's just me. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on PocketNow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me debate the obvious. I don't think a lot of people use keyboards, honestly, but that's me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow.